नहीं है बट
है।
मैं कह रही हूँ मुझे हमेशा लगता है इसका फ्रंट कैमरा उतना अच्छा नहीं है, तो मैं इसे बैक कैमरा पे करूँ क्या?
नहीं, सही आ रहा है, मेरे को तो सही लग रहा है। बैक
सही है
कैमरा
वो।
तेरे को पता ना चले ना।
तो मैं सामने ऐसे मिरर सेट करती हूँ।
थोड़ा उधर कर रहे हो, गुड वाइब्स पूरा नहीं आ रहा, बटरफ्लाईज नहीं आ रही है, वो अच्छा लग रहा था। हाँ, अब प्यारा लग रहा है। लोग कहेंगे उसने कि देखो कितना एफर्ट करेंगे, इसको देखो गेट के आगे बैठी है। बट मैंने लाइट ऑन करी है, मेरे भी एफर्ट्स है, मैं बाहर जाके लाइट ऑन करके आई हूँ। Shall we begin? Hi guys, welcome back to another podcast. And for this podcast, I actually have a very special friend with me. I call her my best friend plus my soul sister because that's what actually brought us together, our souls. Because we're very different as two humans. Like we have very different choices and we have very different personalities, but yet, of course, our mindset and our souls brought us together. I like to call us as soul sisters. So my name is Ishani, and I let my best friend introduce herself. Come on.
Hi, Yanshu.
Okay, so for this podcast, we've actually decided that we're gonna, take up some questions. Like we're gonna ask each other questions so that it. Obviously, we have a certain pattern that goes to the podcast, and yes, we're gonna be as candid as we are in our real life. And within this podcast, we just actually want to show you what real friendships actually mean because we have experienced that with each other. And, we have also observed toxic friendships. We have experienced friendships that were actually ever meant to be, and people were just probably there for their own benefits and, just maybe, trying to get some advantage out of us or something like that, or maybe just passing their time with us. But of course, because this is something that, not only teenagers or a people of certain age deal with, it's basically, I think people throughout their lives deal with friendships. I have seen that even, um, our parents who have their friendships, which actually lasted for a very long time might end right now because of certain reasons. So we're going to talk all about that. And yes, I think let's begin. So like the first question is like, how did we meet? So would you like to take that, Priyanshu? How did we meet? Because it was through her friend that we actually met.
We actually met in college for the first time, and we are from very different branches, but yet what happened was we were in the same campus hostel, and we met through a common friend, which is no longer our friend. We would not like to mention the name, but then we actually got to see each other through that person.
Yeah.
And personality that we were not very friendly or very desperate to make friends. So it was through this person that we actually met, got to know each other, and became soul sisters.
Yeah, so I was in aerospace engineering and she was in petroleum engineering. So we actually had, I think our rooms were very close to each other. We were living on the same floor. So I had a friend, I think her room was adjacent to mine. And then through her, I met her. And she was like, I think quite shortly, she was not a friend anymore. But of course, we do owe it to her that we met through her. So yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh. So it's been almost, I think it's been more than 5 years that we've been friends for now. We met in our first year and it's been more than 5 years now. And I'm so, so grateful to God for her and for this friendship.
But
Okay.
to be very, he is not like it doesn't feel like it's just 5 years of friendship. It just feel like that she has been a part of my life forever, and she has been through all of ups and downs in my life, and it actually means a lot. It means more than years, definitely.
Okay. So, yes, Priyanshu, what would you like to ask me?
I would like to ask you, according to you, what is the real definition of friendship?
The real definition, actually, she is the one who actually taught me the real definition of friendship because before her, I had friends, no doubt, but I had never actually experienced the kind of friendship that we have. And I didn't even know, like, the kind of friend that I am to others now is because of her. Like, she actually taught me how to be a good friend. And she has been with me through all my thick and thins. And, it's like whenever I talk. I think in all my podcasts, I have mentioned her name. I always mention there's this best friend of mine who always pushes me to do my best, who always pushes me to do more. And she is that person. And like, I don't know how many relations I have gone through with her in that same time, but she has always been that constant. And for me, what friendship means is that you're always there for that person, and your friend has to be your ride or die. The friend, he should be someone you are never ashamed to be yourself in front of them, like completely be yourself, talk about. I think I still remember there was one point when you shared something and you were like, I feel so ashamed to talk about this right now, like I cannot talk about this in front of anybody. But like, she said that you were the first person who came to my mind. So someone that you are not even ashamed to be yourself in front of, and someone who has your back throughout, like no matter what the situation is, even maybe you are at wrong at that point, but they always have your back and they will always show you the real picture. Like, I think I do not like friends who support each other in all the wrongs as well. She is somebody who would actually throw it in my face if I'm right or I'm wrong, but she will also help me, to correct my wrong. So I think for that, that is what friendship means to me. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, so actually, there is this term known as true friendship. And what I want to make a point here is that it shouldn't be classified in a certain way. It has become so impure nowadays that we have to classify that what is true friendship, what is unconditional love, and terms like that. So, what happens is that friendship is a bond that you create um, by choosing by yourself. It's not something you are born with, it's something you choose. It's according to your own choice, and how you mold it is actually what makes you a better person as well as the other person. So that bonding deepens with time, of course, but then it doesn't really depend on it.
True.
Friendship is like when you are there unconditionally for the other person and same for that person. It definitely means that you are not really wanting something from them, you are not really having something in mind, some kind of benefit or anything like that. That is why it is unconditional. So when you have that bond that you just take care of that one person like a family, you would do, and without differentiating in anything, that is what is friendship. Like, yeah, so it's a
Your voice broke, please repeat.
I'm saying it's a family you choose yourself.
Exactly, it's a family outside your family with unconditional love. Okay, so one precious memory that you have of me.
I would like
Yeah,
that you start it.
continue, continue. Continue, come
As
on.
you, okay, so there are actually many, but then what I would point out is, and what stands out among all of them is that it was a second year of college, and I remember I wasn't actually well, and I came back from college and just lied down on my bed, and there she was along with one more friend who was our roommate. So that person was continuously busy with mobile, and she came to me and she asked what happened, and I said like that I am really really tired and I feel like I'm so weak and I'm not feeling well. And she came, and because she knew that I told her that my legs were hurting, she came and she started massaging and pressing my legs. Like, that reminded me of my father. My father is a doctor, but the care he has, and that is like, I'm telling what friendship is. It when it's a family to you. And I literally teared up that time. I cried that time, remembering that, and I told her not to do it. But those emotions, it's not even sacrifice, those feelings that you have for each other without any advantage. It's nothing like that if she does that for me, then what will others think, or what will that bring out. But what she did was that touched my heart actually at that time, and this is the best memory. And till date, I think nothing has ever cross this, and nothing can surpass this, like, for sure.
That's true. Even, the best memory that I have of her is also when I was ill. Both, we have been through health problems as well together. But even I have a lot of memories, and I've shared a few memories in my earlier podcast as well with her. But there was this time when I was actually very ill, and I was staying in her room, and she had, a lot of classes to attend. She had classes from 9 a.m. to till 5 p.m. And our hostel was actually far from our campus. So it was in Dehradun, of course. So, there was this uphill climb from our campus to our hostel. And obviously, I was there. She gave me the medicines and she went to her classes. After almost every class, she would come back to check on me and then she would go back. She would come back, check on me, go back. I mean, it's not easy. It was not easy to actually, travel from our campus to our hostel. हम लोग एक बार जाते थे तो थक जाते थे ऊपर नीचे करके कि बस आज का हो गया. But after every class, she would come back to her room. She would check up on me. Medicine तो नहीं देनी, fever check किया, सब कुछ किया, जो भी मुझे चाहिए खाना पीना सब दिया, and then she would go back. And obviously, I still remember it so much. After her classes end at 5 p.m., सीधा direct. And we used to actually, there was this point called Maggie Point. तो हम लोग हमेशा classes over होने के बाद वहाँ जाते थे, and we would hang out there with other friends as well. But that day she just came back to her room and constantly she took care of me. And I mean, this is nothing as compared to a lot of the things that she has done for me, but this is something, that is embedded in my head from so long that, whenever I'm ill or whatever happens, like I live on my own right now. So, it just reminds me of her. Like she was so concerned, and it had been almost, a very short period of time since we were friends. Till I think it was in second year only. So we were like friends for like a year or something. And I don't know, but we were so connected to each other. Then the care that she provided, like a mother, it was amazing. And she has done a lot of things for me. I cannot even count. But yeah, like this is one memory that I will always cherish and I will always remember. We both used to be ill a lot, but she more than me.
Let's go next question. Otherwise, the time will flow. So, how did we reunite after a fight?
Ah, we haven't had a lot of fights. Like I think we just had like 2 or 3 fights in college, or maybe we just argued because we are very strong, opinionated women. We are two very strong, opinionated women, and we actually, with others we have a lot of. Sometimes we have ego issues as well. I think with others, but not with each other. So how we used to reunite after a fight was that we would write each other letters. I remember we fought like crazy. I think that was the biggest fight that we ever had. And we used to live on the third floor, and our warden, she came, she was there in her room, and she came, "Kya ho gaya? Like, why are you fighting?" Because we were yelling so loudly. And then after that ended, we were not talking.
As well as crying.
As well as yelling and crying because like it was not often that we actually ever ended up in a fight. But I still remember, I think after 2 3 days, I don't remember the days, but I found a letter under my pillow. And she had written such a big letter to me because it was always difficult for us to express our emotions through, through verbally. So she wrote me a letter, and like obviously cleared it up, like how what happened and everything like that. But I think since then we've matured a little that now we can even express our feelings verbally to each other, like what we feel about it and whatever. So that's how we used to write. What's your take?
She's correct in that way, and we didn't fight with each other a lot, but for her or for me, she has fight. She had, fought with so many people. So that, and that also because of some third person. So opinions clashes were always there because obviously two people cannot be same, right? And we being very expressive, we didn't used to like take a back, like just accept things like that. But then yes, this was very true because I'm a person who doesn't know like how to make up after fighting. So either I'll gift something or I'll write it down, or because she's important, that is why. Otherwise, it's just that if it was some third person, I'll just cut it off. Because she meant to me, and I wanted that to continue, and that is how I wanted to clarify things. That is why I would write down, and the same is for her. But yes, there were fights. It's not like a normal relation. Do not think that everything is like as smooth. Obviously life is a sinusoidal curve, and so are relationships. In every relationships there are fights as well as clashes, as well as opinion, mismatch. So I think we should know how to sort them out. That's it. So according to us, we used to write it down, or just give each other a little bit time, and then afterwards we'll just act normal. That's what happened.
The kind of people who actually need some time after a fight to relax, like to calm down, because we tend to speak anything sometimes, in our anger, and that we both know. Even now, like whenever if I have a fight with somebody, or if I'm angry, I just like to take my time to calm down, and then to clear my thoughts, and then I would like to speak again. And that is what we used to give each other, some space, some time to just cool down, because we are, as much as we are different, we are also very, very similar. Like we have
Yeah.
the same anger issues.
If
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, if hiding, we'll speak to each other, or we continue. So at that moment, we'll just keep on, speaking something which is not meant to be spoken at that moment, and we don't want to regret it. Okay, afterwards. So that is why we used to think like just to be calm at that moment, and then take up things, after a certain period of time till we cool down. Like yeah.
And like she mentioned, we actually used to fight a lot for each other with others. I think I have calmed down so much since college, but we were also, we were immature also. Like I wouldn't say, but even now I would still have her back through everything. Like, and we would still fight for each other. But even then, like we used to fight with anybody. Like ऐसा भी कुछ भी होता था कि हाँ उसने कुछ कह दिया, या एक थर्ड पर्सन ने इसको कुछ कह दिया, या कुछ भी ऐसा हो गया, we would just go and fight. Like I think we were like we used to be called, like very bold and very this and that for that. But we were
Actually, in that we called childish, because actually we were away from home, and for each other we were family. So if anybody dares speak something against your family, then you are going to be very angry about that, and you're going to be aggressive, and you are going to stand up against it. So that was the same with us. So it can't really be called as immature, but then we cared for each other. But now if I look back, it wasn't really necessary to fight every time. We can just say something and
yeah,
just
that's like the immature like part where I want to say, like we never used to think. Like we would just react. Like of course we would still react, you would still fight, but there are, you need to take some time, you need to actually think about it, whatever. I mean, because we have actually, done, sometimes it was too much to react to. I think it wasn't even necessary sometimes.
of our friendship. So they always wanted to create some issues, or always wanted to wanted to find out a way so that we separate, segregate, or fight due to just anything. Because our bonding was that strong that people started getting jealous. So that is why also things happened, and but nothing actually could overcome this friendship, and that is what makes it stronger. Obviously,
Oh yeah, okay. How friends help each other become a better person?
that is a very very person question, and to like every person it is important, be it of any age group. If you are having a friend that does not help you become a better person, then you have chosen the wrong person. Better be alone. So how one can help each other is like you tell the other person about the shortcomings, rather than saying it to everybody. You'll just tell your friend and help him just know the right path, and motivate him in every step, like whatsoever he or she wants to pursue, and that is right to pursue, obviously. Then you help that person and gives them confidence, like in any way. It's not just that there are times when you question yourself, right? So there are times you need others' opinions, and to parents, you cannot discuss everything. So there comes the part of friendship. So basically, there are people who will start smoking, or who will get into wrong, who will get into, all these kinds of wrong things just because of peer pressure, and also the reverse. There are people who will help people become or achieve what they want to do.
Right. I think, and like, I would like to clarify, like, obviously, smoking or doing whatever, like, all these things, it's everyone's choice. We're not saying that. But the thing is that we have actually seen our friends doing that just because of peer pressure, not because, like, they wanted to, or that was something that they would want to try. And we knew that if it is something that you want to do, you want to try whatever it is, good for you. Like, do you. But like we have seen people who were doing it just because of peer pressure. And I remember like a friend of ours, both of us, like she actually took, she actually took a lot of time to advise him and to actually help him get out of it, because it was not something that I think he really wanted to do. And yeah, because this is one step. Because of peer pressure, you can actually go into a lot of different other stages as well, which are not really good for you. So yes, in that sense, we are saying that, and also true, like help each other become a better person. Because like I am very underconfident at times, and like she is the one who I actually run up to, and she's the one person that comes to my mind immediately whenever I'm doubting myself, and whenever I'm like maybe I cannot do this, maybe I cannot do that, or should I do this, should I do that? Like she is the first person that will come to my mind, and I'll always give her a call and I'll tell her like Priyanshu, what should I do? I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, and she is the one person who has always given me confidence. Like in my previous podcast only, I was saying that people who really love you and actually care for you will always make you better, make you a better person, and always help you become a better person in every way possible. Like even the criticism that comes from them is always constructive criticism. Like that will never be to downgrade you or to make you feel bad about yourself. So I think boosting each other up, because the stage that we're actually building our lives right now, and just boosting each other and helping each other, because there are also times when you do not even think that the decision you're taking is right or wrong. Like you are maybe in certain situations. I think we have been through situations where even she would call me and she would ask me like, what should I do in this case, or what should I do that? And we're also kind of very givers. Like we we like to help a lot. She's the kind of person who likes to help a lot. Like I love to help, and that's like my aim in life. But sometimes she does it too much because she cares about everybody so much. So we also help each other. I think contain that sometimes, because sometimes it can actually land you up in a wrong situation. So we always
Yeah,
help each other keep a straight head in a lot of situations.
yeah, because definitely excess of everything is bad. So whatsoever shortcomings we have, we try to not to judge each other on that, but try to correct each other and become a better person.
Right.
Seriously. So my next issue is how long it actually takes to have a deep bonding.
How long it actually? I think it's not about time. I think
Yeah.
for us, it has been, I mean, I have been friends, I'm still friends with people who have been my friend, since school, like maybe since we were very little, maybe in first grade, second grade, or whatever. And so obviously, I have spent a lot more time with them than with her. But for us, it didn't even take time, because we just, our chords just struck with each other, and like we were completely like this. And people would say like these two girls are so different from each other, how come they're so good friends? Because I think it's about your souls. And just a second, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, yeah. So I think it's just about like what mindset brings you together, because we were friends together not because we wanted to just to hang out or pass our time. We were friends because our mindsets brought us together, and our souls, and the way we feel about everything. So I think it's not about time. Like it's just if that friend is meant to be your friend, I think it doesn't even depend. It can be a month, or maybe it can take up a year. Like time doesn't define anything for me.
Yeah, for time, it's just about that you how much time you spend with each other. The more the time you spend, the more will be the memories, or the more you get to know the person. But then seriously, the bonding doesn't, obviously it will deepen with time, but it doesn't take that much time to just click. If you know, if there is somebody like, you start to love a person also, just apart from friendship, you can just, maybe just like each other in a month, or maybe in years also, if you know. That is very, very true, and the same is with me. I also have so many friends from like school, or maybe people whom I know each other, but the way we are friends, the bonding that I have with her, it's like unbreakable, and it's really, really different, and we both can feel it. Like,
True.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and all time doesn't define anything. Okay. So, how much do we know each other?
This question is like, if I would say how much I know her, then if it was asked previously, then it would have been, answer would have been a little low percentage. But for now, I definitely know 90% of her. I'm pretty sure about it. And it's not even about percentage, it's about all the qualities of her, it's about all the time that we have spent together. you know it's about how she takes things and how she would react to things. And yes, so it's about these things rather than percentage. But I know her, I think, more than anybody in this world. That I'm sure about.
Oh, she knows me more than I know myself. I don't know. What kind of person I am? Of course, Priyanshu. What kind of person I am? She knows me inside out. And actually, if I would just to conclude, and I think I also know her inside out. Like sometimes there are things that cannot speak about, but we just know that what must be going in her head or what must she be thinking. So we just know each other inside out. Like we don't have to clarify everything, and we don't have to tell each other everything. We just know that okay, this must be something that is going in her head, or why is she doing if she's doing something. So we just know each other inside out, and that is also because of the time we have spent together. Like it's of course it's been more than 5 years, so here time does define things. And I think yes, the more we have opened up to each other, like because of I say our mindsets, we have opened up to each other so much because of, first of all, the fear of non-judgment, and the fear that this person is actually going to have my back no matter what. So we have actually opened our souls to each other, and that is why I think we both know each other inside out. Of course, I mean, there are still times that we do not agree on everything the same way. Obviously we do not agree on everything, but then again, we know, like I would listen to her, she would listen to me, and we would just we would understand like where is she coming from or where is she coming from. So because we just like know each other that well. So yes, and this meeting is also gonna end in like 5 minutes, so we'll also take a break with that, so that we divide the podcast as well. Okay, so does distance really matter in friendship? What do you say? We're actually in long distance friendship right now.
Yeah, distance actually doesn't matter. And this I'm telling you because obviously due to COVID times, and like college ended, now we are not even in the same states. We are living like miles apart. But that bonding has become only stronger and stronger. Even if we meet each other after a year maybe, or after months, it doesn't really matter. The first thing that when we meet each other is how this person is, how she was all of this time. Like, is she happy? Like, what we notice is this thing: is she healthy? Is she living happily? Is she um having any problems and things like that? So it never really clicked to me that this much time has passed, so maybe she forgot. This never really crossed my mind, and this never will. That I'm pretty sure about. Even if there are things we discuss, if maybe I'm the last person to know, but still I am the important person to know. And if she wants me to know that, and then yes, definitely yes, that is important. That is why we discussed it. Distance doesn't matter, it doesn't matter at all. If your friendship is to that level, it won't matter. Like, yeah.
Exactly. I think even after second year of our college, we started living like apart because she stayed in a different hostel. I was living in a different hostel, and even since then we have never really stayed together. Like then, of course, COVID happened. We were back in our homes, and then she traveled for work. And even yeah, I mean, since then we do not talk every day. We actually talk like once, or once in 1 week or once in 2 weeks. That's like how we talk. And even then we would give each other all the updates and everything. And we know, like, even if we haven't talked, maybe say we haven't talked in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we know that okay, she must be busy, okay, she must be busy, she must be here and there, whatever. Like, this thought that never crosses our mind ki oh, bhool gayi kya, or maybe she doesn't care or whatever, or maybe this friendship was meant to end, and nothing like that. Like, it never really matters how long it has been since we've talked, because we know that we are always there and that we will always be there. So if
I
you
think that is very important here is trust. If
true.
she says she's not well and she wasn't able to come and meet me, then yes, that's it. There's no second thought about it. If she said something, then yes, what she said was truth. And that is what really matters in any relationship. Trust is the first thing that matters, and that is the base of that relation, definitely.
Exactly. I mean, I think I see people, who, have this urge to, constantly meet. And because, if they would not meet, they would, grow apart or something like that. And maybe that is true. Of course, if we are also living, like, if we are living, in the same city, or like nearer to how we are now, I think we would want to meet every once in a while. But I don't think that it is something necessary to keep the friendship up. Like, you have to meet, even if you are just on call and you just talk to each other once in a while. I think that's enough if you actually have a very strong friendship with each other. And yeah, I think distance, of course, doesn't matter again.
Be conditional. It shouldn't be conditional that we have to meet once.
Yeah.
We have to call, because if conditions come, then obviously then your friendship is having some kind of flaw in it.
True. Okay, with that, I think we're gonna take a break right now. And yes, we are gonna continue this. I don't know like how I'm gonna do that, if I would attach to this part, but yes, we are just gonna take a break and we'll see you soon. Okay.